We're speaking to Datin Elaine Daly this morning. She is, of course, the National Director of MUMO and also Channel Director at Her TV. Good morning, Elaine.
Good morning.
Looking
Top of
all
the morning to
fresh.
you.
Yes.
Yes, man.
Now, Elaine, we all know you so well from your work on TV as an actress, as a model, and a former Miss Malaysia. Tell us a little bit about your growing up years. I mean, I know you were an only child. Did you feel a
Yes,
lot of pressure on you to be like the
of
best
course.
kid your parents will ever have?
Yeah, I think, expectations were always, a lot more than I think if I had brothers and sisters. So, yeah, the expectation to do well was there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But you had a great childhood nonetheless.
Yeah, I did. I had a nice childhood. I think I had to grow up pretty fast because I was always with adults. I didn't really have cousins my own age to play with, not too many.
Mm.
So it was always me and adults. So I grew up pretty fast, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. When you were a kid, though, like what did you want to be when you grow up?
I always knew at the age of 12, 13 that I wanted to study law. I was already in the debating society and perbahasan society and all that kind of stuff, and I knew that law was something that I really wanted to do. So hence that's why I pursued it, you see.
Okay. Well, so at that age, you already knew that you want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
What was it
Yeah.
about that industry that attracted you?
I think I've always been one to fight for justice, and someone who always believed in rights and and standing grounds and having opinions and stuff like that. So law was something, it was a natural progression for me. Plus I wasn't very science orientated. I was more arts, and I loved reading and I loved history, and and law was, and it was a natural progression for me. Yeah.
But was there like someone that you knew who was a lawyer, or maybe you watched LA Law on TV that wow, that looks cool?
Well, with Asian parents, you either become a lawyer, engineer, doctor, or architect, right? So, pick one.
So was
I
was
mean,
that was there pressure from your parents as well to become a professional in that sense?
well, they always instilled that I had to have an education. Education was very, very important to them, and that's what I'm instilling in my kids now as well. I was very fortunate to be in a school where they allowed for promotion. So I actually finished SPM at the age of 14 and a half.
What?
Wow.
How?
Yeah. You're a
And then
genius.
no, I was just lucky, but I wouldn't do it to my kids lah. I would let them grow up naturally. So I actually finished my law degree at the age of 19, and then I did my CLP. By the time I was 21, I was done.
Wow.
Yeah.
But a
Fast
CLP is
track.
like one of those crazy hard exams people fail multiple times. I heard, like, it's super hard, right?
It is a very difficult exam. It is. It's not difficult. It's bulky. It's very, very bulky. And it does depend on the quota as well, how many they can pass each year. So you can be the most brilliant student, but if you don't get through that certain quota, then you might not get through that certain year, but then the next year you get through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, you graduated high school at the age of 14. And at
Yeah.
14 as well, you started modeling, you started doing TV commercials and all that. And you
Yeah.
were very successful actually as a model and at commercial talent and all that. So
Thank you.
did you not consider doing that instead?
No,
full-time?
but yeah, that was always a part-time thing. And, my parents said that, I needed to have an education. And, I enjoyed studying law. I really did. I enjoyed the whole study of it. I enjoyed the process of the exams and all that, as nerdy as that
You like
sounds.
the exams.
The process of it. I knew at the end of it I would get a degree, and I was happy with that. And at the age of 21, after I'd finished everything, then the world was my oyster. My parents said, you can do what you want to do. And I think they saw they saw the fact that, there was a future in the entertainment industry. And at first they didn't understand it. They didn't see it, but until I started, making my own money properly and, started working and hosting and all that, then they realized that, that was something that I could do, so yeah.
Okay. Was there a particular field of law that you majored in, or was it just general?
It was general. So I got my CLP at the age of 21, and then I started hosting and acting and doing whatever I wanted to do in the entertainment industry. I traveled, I saw the world, but I knew that I wanted to be called to the bar. So if anything were to happen, that I can still go back and practice. So what I did was, a couple of years ago, I decided to stop everything, and I went to chamber in a law firm for 9 months. And that to me was very rewarding. Yeah. So I'm actually a full-fledged lawyer, but I'm just not practicing.
Okay. So we can call you if you're in any trouble and you will come to court for us.
I cannot laugh. I forgot everything already.
Actually, you know what? Was it like, what interested you more? Criminal law, like there's corporate law and everything as well, though.
Criminal law interested me a lot. Yeah,
Okay.
I really enjoyed doing that.
Okay. But the call of the entertainment world was a little bit too strong to ignore, right?
Yeah, I mean, after I finished chambering, the law firm actually asked me if I wanted to, if they could retain me, and if I wanted to continue. But it's tough, lah. I mean, once you've seen the world, you can't pretend that you haven't. And I still enjoyed what I did. And after that, then I got my major acting roles and stuff like that. So everything happens for a reason. But I know that at the back of my mind that, touch wood, that if anything fails, I can always go back to law and be a first-year law practitioner, and still be able to earn some money there. Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a backup.
Yeah.
It's like the spare tire. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always good to have a backup.
Yeah. Okay. But what did your parents think of your decision to not become a lawyer full time and to pursue the entertainment industry full time?
I think after a while, they actually saw it. At first, I mean, like any parent, they'll probably think, what future is there in modeling or hosting or acting, and they're right. There is a shelf life to it. But it's all about evolving. It's all about trying new things and doing new things and evolving as a person, and making sure that you still can, what do you call that? You can still
Mama, can I wash your iPad?
sorry, it's my daughter.
It's all right.
That you can, I mean, basically that you still can do what you want to do, lah, and still be successful at it. Yeah.
But you're handling quite a number of things right now. You're the national director of MUMO. You're with Her TV.
Yes.
Is your passion for law still as strong as before?
Not as strong, but I have a very soft spot for it. I love reading, law articles, and I love reading books about law, and I'm still keeping myself abreast to what's happening in the legal arena. But I don't see myself going back to practice anytime soon.
So you don't see yourself as a full-time lawyer anytime soon?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't.
But does having this legal background help you in what you do now as an entrepreneur, as director of MUMO?
Absolutely. I mean, ever since, my modeling days, it's helped me. It helped me peruse my own contracts. It's helped me see things at a very different kind of angle, be a lot more meticulous in what I do. And especially where contracts are concerned, where, sometimes, you might get played out and stuff like that. So, I've had my other model friends as well have me look at their contracts too, and help them out in it. And, So yeah, so it has helped me in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, because
Okay.
sometimes I remember Belle and I went through our contract. We're like, what in the world is this? What does it even mean, right?
It's like 20 pages of things that you don't
Yeah,
It's so
understand. Yeah.
and
technical.
lawyers have to draft it from scratch.
My God.
Now, let's say, no, because we just spoke to a doctor who became a
Okay.
scuba diving instructor.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
another
what
thing that
if
I would love to do. I would love to open a dive shop somewhere and be, you know,
living in the
a scuba
island and all?
a scuba diving instructor. I would love to do that as well. Maybe
Really?
that's a
Off
good
the
idea.
grid, Elaine Daly off the grid, really?
Off the grid, no need to wear shoes. Because
No.
I'm a huge diver. I love diving. That's one of my biggest passions as well.
Yeah.
So
Now,
yeah,
I
so
just
good
want to
idea.
ask you. Let's say, your husband, who is a medical doctor, who is a chiropractor right now, and he's a
Yeah,
doctor, and he decides to like throw it all away and just go live in the island. Would you support that?
absolutely. If we have enough money in our bank accounts, lah, yes.
But what if your child, let's say she's gone through 6 years of medical school and then suddenly she says she wants to be a singer?
You know, I mean, if honestly speaking, you know, I've been through that same path, and if I have to make a choice for them, you know, it's really up to them. It's
Mm.
really up to them, and whatever makes them happy. You know, there's no point being stuck in something that you are so unhappy with, and you'll be miserable for the rest of your life. You know?
Just because you majored in it or you studied or you spent a lot of money for it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think the safety net is knowing that you have something to fall back on. Yeah.
Okay. But do you feel like I spent so much of my time studying law? Well, not really, right? 3 years, only 19, 20, 21. And then after that, you chambered for a while. And now that you're
Then
a full-fledged
CLP,
lawyer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's A levels, and then there's
Yeah.
the law degree, and then there's the CLP. So it is studying for quite a bit.
Yeah. So
you
if you
know?
think about it, the time frame that you spent studying for law, the money you spent, getting your law degree,
Yeah.
do you feel like it's a waste?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because it's, you know, it's given me an extra edge. You know, it's put me on a pedestal, even better when it comes to, you know, dealing with people or things, knowing that, you know, I have this law degree, and you know, as modestly as I'm trying to sound lah, you know, that, you know, you can't mess with me, that kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So it has helped me tremendously, and I don't regret not doing it.
So
Okay.
if you had not taken that law degree and you had
Yeah.
just gone on straight into the entertainment world, you wouldn't be as hard edged, or how would you look at it? How different would it be?
Formidable.
Yeah. How would you?
I think my path would have still been pretty much the same. You know, I think I would have. I think with a law degree, I'm a little bit more secure. But without it, you know, I'm a very I'm a very ambitious person. So, you know, I'm always evolving. So I don't, you know, it's not like, okay, my modeling career is over, so okay, I'm just going to sit around and do nothing. I think with my experience, I would still be where I am today.
Definitely.
You know, having gone through Miss Malaysia and all that, and
Yeah.
and knowing how to mentor young girls and do that kind of thing. And having done TV for a long time, now running my own TV channel, you know, it's something that I think would have happened anyway. I hope so. I don't know.
Right. What else is on the cards for you, Elaine? Like, has this pandemic and this like global shutdown affected you personally and professionally?
I think it has. It has affected everybody, including myself. You know, I mean, it's I think everybody's mental strength is something that has to really step up to the game, because, you know, you've got to be mentally very strong. I mean, for me, my challenge is homeschooling my kids now, you know, like all the other mommies out there. And I see other mommies putting out on Facebook and Instagram and all that, say, how do you cope with the kids? How do you cope with the kids? I think you've just got to take one day at a time, and the days do pass by quite quickly. So, I'm being as real as I can, and it has affected me and a lot of other people in different ways. I mean, I'm very grateful and thankful that I still have my job. I know a lot of people have lost jobs, but it's the strength that we need right now, for ourselves and for everybody else out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you trying to pivot your business in a way to this new normal?
Yeah, I mean, we've started the company that I'm with. We've started an online e-commerce store, called Bel, and we've also started an e-commerce online eating food app called Makan. So everybody's gone onto the digital arena, and we're trying to do as much as we can to help people stay at home, not go out and buy groceries, not go out and buy food. So I think that's what we've done to evolve.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure it was challenging. Was it as challenging as when you first started the business?
We first started the business during MCO,
Oh,
and it
really?
wasn't
Oh, Her
easy.
TV was
Yeah.
started. Nak Beli was started
Oh,
during MCO or Her TV?
not Beli and not Makan. Her TV was started 3 years ago.
Okay.
But not Beli and not Makan, we started it during the MCO, and it's doing pretty well, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
So we're quite happy with that. Yeah.
Was it a steep learning curve for you as well to suddenly jump
Absolutely.
into this e-commerce business?
Majorly, it was a huge learning curve for me, and I'm quite grateful to have the opportunity to be able to do that. And I'm still learning as we go every day, so it's all based on experience. I mean, I have no degree in e-commerce or anything like that, so I'm just learning as we go, and sometimes you just got to fake it till you make it.
But what would you say to parents who like you said, you have no degree in e-commerce as well, but at all, but what do you say to parents who think that, okay, my kids must have a degree in as an accountant, as an engineer, as a doctor, and then but then they don't even like what they're studying, and then in the end they come up and become something else?
I think the interest has to be there. I think that's really important, for your child to do well and for them to be happy. They have to at least a little bit of interest in what they're studying. If not, it's a forcing game, and when you force someone to do something, it normally doesn't work out very well. So the interest, the child needs to have an interest there to begin with.
Mm. But then after that, let's say they become a doctor or a lawyer because of the parents, and then after a while they decided, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, and then it majorly disappoints the parents.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
parents says you wasted all my money sending
No,
you
but
to the school.
I'm sure they will go on to do something even. I mean, we've heard so many success stories, where kids study something and then they end up doing something completely different, and they are successful in what they do. So I think the parents would be proud of them equally, as if they were a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or architect.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
what would you say to these young people though, who are thinking of changing their career to an industry that they have no experience in, that they haven't studied for?
I would say take the risk, but make sure it's calculated.
How do you calculate the risk?
You just have to be really careful, and make sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, basically. And as opposed to just jumping into something. Now, if you ask me to do some aeronautical science thing, I would have no clue whatsoever.
Yeah.
Or interest at all to do anything like that. So you've got to have the interest, you've got to have the strength, the willpower, the mental capacity to be able to do what you want to do, so that you can actually stand on your own 2 feet. I think most parents are worried that their kids won't be able to stand on their own 2 feet, if they don't become lawyers or engineers or doctors. But I think the world is changing these days. There's so many different professions. There's so many different things that kids do that, is going to make them successful. And parents just have to swallow it and just have the belief that my child will succeed. I think that's a big thing, and have support and encouragement to do so.